is topped with various stews such as musarwat, red lentils with the spice berbere, and gomen, stewed collard greens with ginger and garlic. Berbere, a red spice commonly used in Ethiopian cuisine, looks like paprika, but it has its own taste and smell. Though livestock is widely and readily available, Ethiopian food is grain-based and is extremely good for you.
The best part of the food is the sharing part. That's why actually we serve it in a big plate, so where everyone can come and eat. Well, it used to be like you even call neighbors to, and then during a lunchtime or a dinner time.
And that's kind of part of the reason why the coffee ceremony is what it is as well.
Yes.
Because it's not something you do by yourself.
No. Yeah.
Coffee culture has existed way before Starbucks was even a thing in Ethiopia.
But it's not just a cup of coffee,
it's not a cup
sipping
of coffee.
like a great coffee. It's all about, sharing. It's all about inviting new people to your place, friends, family, or neighbors. That's why it takes like at least an hour or more to make.
So it just kind of forces you to have a conversation with your family while you wait for the coffee.
Definitely.
Coffee isn't just Ethiopia's #1 economic export, it's actually something that's rooted in culture and tradition. The raw coffee beans are washed and then roasted on a flat pan until the beans are shiny and black. The aroma of the coffee, which is so strong and pungent, is wafted around for each guest to sample. Along with the smell of the incense, the air becomes filled with an aromatic sensory overload for the nose. The coffee is then ground on a mortar and pestle and put in a traditional clay pot called jebena. Though you may not hear it, part of the Bunna tradition is that you pray as you roast the coffee. Because of how traditional this method is, the coffee isn't smooth right away and is sieved several times. Though she's been in the States for over 10 years, this ceremony and her cuisine helps Khadija reconnect with home.
First time I went back home was 4 years ago, actually. So trying to find myself, trying to see, what's out there, what has changed, and what still exists, those kind of things. But it's a lot of things has changed so much. At first, I was heartbroken, to see that.
What's changed?
People don't have time for each other anymore as they used to be, because everyone is busy with their lives.
Right.
So.
I think that's kind of one of the common things that immigrants have to go through is going back to their homeland and realizing that it hasn't stayed how it has in your memory.
Sure.
And both you and the country have changed, and that nostalgia is kind of ruined.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's what I was actually looking for. The old memory that I have was, with my people, but it's not the same at all.
Yeah. Do you feel like cooking this food helps you hang on to that memory?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, and especially now when I come back to myself, it's kind of connects me with, a lot of things that I've lost. Yeah.
When you do the Bunna ceremony, I know that as you're doing it, you have to pray. What do you pray for?
I usually pray for Ethiopia. That's definitely that hopefully we're going to find ourselves.
Is it because you think you've lost yourself?
In a way, yeah. I'm trying to find it now. So, yeah.
I've had a great time here with Khadija. If you would like to see more episodes, please click here.
It will be like appetizer.
Yeah.
And we will boil with...
So yes, that was pretty much the video that I would like to share with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. So let me now present our speaker. So for today's event, we will have 4 speakers. Our first speakers will be Dr. Asempapa. He's from Ghana. Our second speaker will be Brenda. Brenda is one of our global ambassador from Kenya. The third speaker will be Saeed. Saeed is a graduate student here. He will graduate this semester, and is from Egypt. The last speaker is Soumaila. Soumaila is an undergraduate student and is from Burkina Faso. So now I can't wait to invite Dr. Asempapa for his presentation. So let's welcome Dr. Asempapa. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you everyone for making it here this morning, taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. So I know we don't have much time, just an hour for this program. So I will go straight into my presentation. So just like Jonathan did the introduction, thank you, Jonathan, for the introduction. So I'm an assistant professor in mathematics education with the School of Behavioral Sciences and Education, and this is my 5th year here at Penn State Harrisburg. And I've been in the United States. This is close to my 18th year, and originally born in Africa, specifically in Ghana, in West Africa. So what I'll be talking about, so the whole thing is about food and music in Africa. So because we are also looking at coffee hour, I just wanted to just say something about coffee in Africa. So Jonathan, were you going to move the slides, or I was going to do the presentation from my end here? Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about coffee in Africa, food, specifically in Ghana, music in Ghana, and then just show you some 1 or 2 videos. So when you look at this map that you see here, so you realize that, and then the video that Jonathan just showed us. So Africa has about 54 countries, all right? And then these are just about 8 countries that actually are able to produce a coffee in those countries. It's not on a very, very large scale, but at least it's recognized that they do produce coffee. So Ethiopia is one of them, and then we're fortunate Jonathan showed us that video. So in West Africa, where I come from, so to the left, so when you look at the map of Africa, that way to the left, yeah, so you see that it's just only Senegal and Ivory Coast. So even in Ghana, where I come from, when I was growing up, coffee was not something that I was introduced to. And as of now, I'm not a coffee drinker. Sorry to all coffee drinker, but I like tea or cocoa, or let's say cocoa drink. So yeah, so coffee is not all that popular, but at least when you go to East Africa, where Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, those places is very, very popular. Okay, so in terms of food and music, so specifically in terms of food, first of all, where I just on this slide, just to introduce you to where I come from. So yeah, that is Ghana in West Africa, and it's a small country, not that small. Currently, our population is about 32 million, and we have 16 regions. Okay, so I modified my slide, but I don't think Jonathan has it. So, but it's okay. So I inserted a new slide where it shows that it used to be 10 regions, but just last year, the government decided to subdivide some of the bigger regions. So now we have 16 regions in Ghana. So when I say regions, like in the United States, where you have, oh, okay, I have it there. Okay, thank you. So in the United States, where we have different states making up the whole country. So in Ghana too, we have regions, and then we have 16 regions making up the population of the country. So that is the flag of Ghana. It's red, gold, green, and then the black star in the middle. Okay, so on the next slide, that is food in Ghana. So when we talk about the main dishes or the kinds of food in Ghana, they are really centered around starchy staple foods. Okay, so a lot of our food are very starchy based, and you always eat them, or it goes with, let's say, a sauce or soup. So in this presentation, I'll just be talking about, let's say, the maize or corn-based foods that is predominantly eaten in Ghana. Those that are rice-based, those that are cassava-based, and then we have some foods that are made from beans, and then yam and plantain. Okay. So for corn-based food, the most popular one is banku, the one in the middle with the blue table background there. So So it's fermented corn, or let's say fermented maize. You ferment it for about some few days, a day or two. You take it to the grinding machine, they grind it for you, and then you come back and then mix it with water again, and then put it down for a day or two, and then in the preparation, it's like the way you are doing mashed potato, like you do mashed potato kind of thing, but this one is very sticky because of the starch in it and very thick. And when you do that and mold it the way you can see it in the picture, you can eat it with, just like I said, stew or soup. And so what you see there is just a traditional or earthware, which we usually call asanka. So in Akan, that is how it's pronounced, asanka. And so that is a traditional earthware or utensil, which you can eat from. Now on the extreme left, the Akpela one is also still from maize, which looks like the banku, but that one is from the dry corn. You don't soak the corn. The corn is taken to the grinding machine, and then they grind it very dry like that. And the process is similar to that of the banku. Now, the one on the extreme right, which is the kenke, is also similar to the banku one, but here they use the corn husk or the corn leaves to wrap it. They boil it for some time before it gets cooked, and then you can also eat it with stew or soup. And then the one at the bottom, the Tiozafi one, is also from dry corn, and is usually eaten by folks from the northern part of Ghana. So when you look at the map of Ghana that I showed you, those people from the north that are Northerners or Muslims, they eat a lot of that type of food from corn or maize called Tiozafi. All right, so the next slide is the rice-based food. Okay, and so here I'm going to say something. So when we jollof rice, sometimes Nigerians think that their jollof rice is the best, but it's Ghanaian or Ghana jollof rice that is the best in the whole Africa. So if you want the best jollof rice, you have to go to Ghana. And the jollof rice is made from rice with stew. So you prepare a stew, a tomato stew, and then you mix it with your rice, boil it. Sometimes you can add vegetables like green peas, carrots, and stuff like that to boil with it. And usually you can eat it just like you see below here with salads and stuff like that. If you go to a restaurant in Ghana, they usually serve you with that type of food. In the middle, we have the wache. So the wache is made from rice and beans. So you cook rice and beans together. And then you can see below here, you see that there's this leaf that is wrapped with the wache. And a lot of people like it because that leaf is medicinal. So instead of eating in the plate, you can have your food or the wache in that leaf, and it's really, really, really good. Now on the extreme right, you have the Ammutyo. So the Ammutyo is like mashed potato, but it's you are cooking rice, and then you make it very soft, and then you blend it. So once you blend it and then you mold it, then you can make it into balls. So sometimes some people call it rice balls. So, but the local name is Ammutyo, and then you usually eat it with palm nut soup, or let's say peanut soup or groundnut soup. And it's a very, very good thing, especially on Sunday mornings. You see a lot of people lining up at the restaurant going to get Ammutyo to eat, which tastes really, really, really good. Okay, so the next slide. How am I doing on time, Jonathan? I think I'm taking most of it. I will go through it very quickly. So this one is the cassava. So the cassava-based one is the typical one. The most popular one is fufu, which is the extreme left top one. So the fufu is from cassava. You boil the cassava, and then you pound it with a pestle and a mortar to make it sticky like that, and you mold it into balls, and then it's mostly eaten with soup, And so the soup too, you can have light soup or peanut soup or palm nut soup. And so at the bottom, you can see even a Caucasian man or a white person going to Africa, Ghana, and usually most of our food, you eat it with your hands. So you can see that man enjoying the fufu there at the restaurant in Ghana. Now the middle one is kokonte. So the kokonte is also from cassava, but it's dried. You dry the cassava for some time before you make it into powder. And then the gari too is the same way. Is cassava that is you grind it, you take it to the machine, they grind it, and then it takes some process. But gari is like couscous. I don't know how many of you are familiar with couscous. So that is how the gari is. So it's just like couscous. And then there's another one down here. Can you move your distance down on the right? I think that is the it's called the I didn't give it any name. Okay, so yeah, it's still the gari, but they make the gari into ball. Yeah. So you cook the gari still like you are doing mashed potato, and then instead of it being in the grinded powder form like that, and then it turns up into a gari ball that you can still eat. Okay, can you move to the next slide, Jonathan? I don't want to. So these are from the one from beans, yam, and plantain. So beans is usually called the red. So the red is fried ripe plantain with bean stew. So you make bean stew. Yes, that is the one on the left side. And then there is tubani. Tubani is also made from beans. And then on the right side you have the yam, the ampesi, which is usually eaten with palava sauce. So that is spinach stew and gravy. And then that is the plantain and pesi with yam, and then that is a traditional plate as well. And then you can have avocado with it, and then you can have egg and then red oil to eat or go with. So it's very, very delicious. All right. So in terms of music, can you move to? All right. So we have gospel music, traditional music as well, hip hop and Afro music and stuff like that. So I have one or two videos I was going to share on the music. I don't know if you give me the chance to share from my end here, and then I can play those music for us to see. Do I have the option to sharing?
Yes, you're a co-host, so you can share your screen if you'd like.
Okay. Okay. So all right. So first of all, before I do the music, so this is just a video of the food. Okay. Can you guys hear what I'm playing?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so I told you it's going to be a long ride, and I'm already excited because all we can now play Jagged Double is just a journey. Just take group to your seat, and I'm here at Asmira Restaurant inside the Roman Rage Shopping Center. I'm here with you. Let's go in and explore African best dishes in Ghana, Accra. To be precise, don't forget the COD. Stay tuned.
So in the interest of time, I'm just going to move, skip the video.
I'm already excited about this. I'm blushing. The environment alone, my God, you've got.
Cleanliness is godliness. Asmira, oh my God, the environment is clean, and they make sure that you have a healthy body. Let's go in. There's more for you. Just take.
Okay, so this is my meal menu in alcoholic beverages, no some beans and some steamed.
So you can see the various food, traditional food served there at the restaurant that has been made.
Let's go get our plate and serve yourself. I'm doing this. Going together, a yam for ourselves. Let's go. It's a buffet table, and you just have to feel free and feel relaxed inside Admiral Restaurant. My yam, my yam, my yam, my yam, my yam. It's a new song. Let's sing it together. So this is my boy, Yam. I just got to make it feel very comfortable. Then I get a yam for myself. How many slices do you think we should do? 1, 2, 3. No, when I do more than 3, it looks like I like food. So let me do just a few slices.
So he went there for some slice of yam.
With some fish and some sense. Okay, so I said I was going for my fish, but my eyes just pictured something. Let's go see it for yourself. Ripe plantain,
And so he went for some fish and ripe plantain.
So let's.
And those are fried fish. Okay, so I will. So this is where he's gathered all the food that he wants to eat, and that is what he has on his plate. Okay, so I'll pause on this one, and then just show us going back to the music, the traditional kind of music. So this is the Adowa dance, which is very, very common by the Ashantis in Ghana. All right, so I'll stop here. There was one more video I was going to show, which is also a traditional dance from the people from the Volta region. Okay, I'll just do just 2 minutes or 5 minutes into sorry, not 2 minutes, just a minute or two, and then I will. So this is a traditional derba where chiefs and some dignitaries have been invited. The song you are listening to is called Bobobo. It's a very popular song from the Volta region in Ghana. And that is the typical kind of dance that goes with the Bobobo song. All right, so I'll stop here. in the interest of time so that others can also do their presentation. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Asempapa, for this wonderful presentation. So this is now one of the times that I like the most, the cow time. So I will invite Nofo to share and host the count game, and everybody can participate to the game. So let's play it.
All right, thank you so much, Jonathan. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen for the Kahoot thing. So if you can see on the screen, there's a pin for the game. So everyone can open their phone and input the pin at kahoot.it. Maybe Wendy can help putting the link in the chat. Thank you, Wendy. So this Kahoot game is based off Dr. Asempapa's wonderful presentation about Ghana. So if you paid attention, maybe you can win this time. Okay, we'll wait about for 1 minute for the audience to join. Let's see about maybe 10 audiences will be good. 10 players. Is there anyone else still signing in? Wait a few more seconds. Right. Yeah, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Naufal. I'm a global master from Indonesia. So I've been a global master since 2 years, and I've been friends with Jonathan since I got the global master. Okay, we have about 8, 9, one more, maybe one more person. I think we can start. Okay, first question. Which part of Africa Ghana is located? So if you study geography, you can get it. It's located in North Africa, Central Africa, South Africa, West Africa. Right, Ghana is located in West Africa, actually next to Ivory Coast, which is where Jonathan is from. Okay, we have Joe as first, not far behind Bob's. Next question. Guinean main dishes are organized around starchy staples, food or pulse. I think this is an easy question. Probably all of you guys can get this one. Okay, we have all correct. That's good. Who's the quickest? I guess Philip is. The next question. Which of these dishes are famous in both Ghana and Nigeria? I think Dr. Asempapa did mention about this, and that the Ghanaian version is here. I'm sure it is, but I hope I can find the dish later on. Oh, sorry, I think I put the wrong answer, but yeah,
Yeah.
sorry about that. Yeah, it's rice
Okay.
jollof. So all of you guys are correct. So it's even. So since you guys are wrong, sorry about that. And then, which style of music is popular in Ghana? The gospel music, hip hop, Afrobeat, gospel music. all of it is correct. I think country music is more Western, so I don't think it's as popular in Ghana. But yeah, 3 of them is right. So yeah, Joe is leading the score. Next question. Plantain and yam are a common staple in Ghana. Is it true or false? It's true. It is common in Ghanaian dishes to have plantain and yam, like in the video Dr. Asempapa showed us. So Babs is leading the score line. Then what is one of the main ingredients of fufu? If you pay attention, you would know. Is it salt, cassava, beef, or sugar? This is cassava. It's an easy question, but it depends how fast you are in answering this. So last question. Is Persian New Year our next event? So if you pay attention to our Global Master calendar, I'm sure you know. So we will have Persian New Year on March 18th, next month. Yep, Rukina can't wait. Okay. So third place is Babs, second place is Joe, and first place is, let's see. Hey, thank you so much everyone for playing. I think I'm gonna give it back to our host, Jonathan.
Thank you, Nofo. Thank you, Nofo, for hosting this game, and thank you to our winner, Philip, Bays, and I think Jo. So we're going to jump to our next speaker. So this is Brenda. Unfortunately, Brenda is not here today because she has something to do. So Nofo going to share a presentation because she recorded herself. Nofo? Okay. Thank you, Nofo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brenda. I am so sorry I could not be at the event today, but I made a little presentation for you guys. A little bit about myself. I'm a junior here at Penn State Harrisburg. I am part of the Global Line Mentors and Global Line Ambassadors. I'm a biology major, minoring in HDFS, which is Human and Family Studies. I will be talking about Kenya today, which is where I was born, and I was raised in Nairobi, which is the capital city. I moved here when I was about 11, but even though I haven't been there in a couple of years, I still practice the tradition and I speak the language. I'm going to share my screen now. There we go. Again, welcome to African Coffee Hour. Just a little bit about Kenya. It is located in the eastern part of Africa, and neighboring countries are Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, Uganda, and Tanzania. It's known for its wildlife, so I don't know if you guys have ever heard about Kenya, but everyone goes there for the safaris. It's so awesome. I really encourage you guys to go at least once in your life. It's really awesome. It's a great experience. The main language spoken is Swahili, and there's 42 tribes in Kenya, and each tribe speaks their own language. So 42, and then Swahili, which is what everyone speaks. It borders the Indian Ocean and the Lake Victoria, so there's a lot of trading between other countries that goes on there. All right, now we're gonna talk about the food. I'm gonna make you guys hungry for a little bit, but just bear with me. So these are like the 3 common dishes. The first one here is ugali and skuma. So ugali, which is the white part, is just, you make it with hot water, and then you put flour, and then you just kind of mix it until it gets hard, and then you eat it with skuma, which is like, you make it with like onions, and you put tomatoes and a bunch of spices. It's really, really good, and then you can top it off with like avocado or something. The middle one is githeri. So that one is corn and beans put together. It's really good as well. And then my favorite, which is the third one, is chapati and stew. chapati is my absolute favorite, which is like a flatbread, and some people put spices, which, oh my God, it's unbelievably good. And then you can eat it with stew and whatever you want. Another thing that you will always find in African food in general is meat. Always meat. Meat is everywhere. So we have the first one up here, which is like the Kenyan famous one, is nyama choma. So it's like grilled beef, basically, grilled meat. And then we have goat and you have chicken, and it's so good. You have to have meat in any Kenyan food, Kenyan dish. It's like a must. Okay, let's talk about the music. So Kenyan music is very diverse. If you guys remember, I mentioned that we have 42 tribes. So most of the lyrics are written in Swahili or the tribe languages. So like imagine every tribe like having their own songs, like that's a lot. The most commonly used instrument is a guitar. So this guy right here, his name is Rukina, which he's the best known early guitarist. And he was the first electric guitarist in East Africa. So he's famous for that. And then the popular genres in Kenya is just like hip hop. Reggae is a very big one. We have rock and roll, funk, pure pop, religious music, all that stuff. And then we have traditional music instruments. So we have like the long horn, which the tribe Maasai use a lot. And then we have the kanubi, which is like the middle one, kind of reminds me of like a guitar type thing. And then we have like the small rattles, which you like shake and then make sounds and stuff. It's really cool, especially put together, and different tribes use different type of instruments. It's really cool when it comes together. And then that's it. That's it for my mini presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I mean, I'm not there to answer them, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nofo. Thank you, Brenda. Even if she's not here, I think she did a great job. It was a great presentation. So thank you, Nofo and Brenda. So now we're going to travel to the north of Africa, and our speaker is Saeed. He's from Egypt. So Saeed, it's your turn.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Can you hear me? Perfect. Okay, hi guys. My name is Saeed Almishak, and I'm the Vice President of the African Student Association in Harrisburg. And I'm going to take you into a journey into North Africa. So when people think about North Africa, before I'm going to tell you about the food and the music, just let me tell you some information about North Africa. So people think about it as a Sahara or a desert, which is basically far from the truth, because North Africa, even in the desert, it has water. And most of it is actually on the Mediterranean Sea, which is basically a long, long beach. So this is a picture from North Coast Egypt, and this is another picture from a place in Egypt, which is called the Gold Island, which is basically on the Red Sea. So the first of the countries in North Africa, which is in the starting from east to west, is Egypt. And this is a picture from Cairo. And Egypt is very famous for the pyramids and the Sphinx, which date back to thousands of years ago, and simple tombs and Luxor and Aswan. So you have to visit Egypt and North Africa to experience history. The other country next to Egypt is Libya, and Libya is very famous for its green mountains and for its natural resources. And next to Libya is Tunisia, and Tunisia is a very, very beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in the world with amazing islands. And next to it is Algeria, and Algeria is also famous for the hiking trips you can take there because it's very rich with special mountains. And next to Algeria is Morocco, And you have to go and plan for a shopping trip on Morocco because it has one of the largest markets across the world. And next to Morocco, we have Mauritania. So there are almost 250 million people living in North Africa, and I can literally say there's also 250 million recipes in the food cuisine in these places. And this comes from the fact that there are lots of natural resources and different natural habitats in North Africa that makes people create different recipes. As you see here, it's very green at some places, and it can also be very snowy at other places. So a little bit of information before we go deeper into the food cuisine. There was supposed to be a grand museum opening in Egypt in 2020, but because of the pandemic, it got delayed to 2021. So please follow us in the African Association so you can know much more information about this event. So starting with the food culture, and to dig deeper into that, what's really very different between the food culture in North Africa and other places in the world is that we have lunch as our main food meal. So we don't focus on dinner, we much focus on lunch. So a little bit thing about culture in North Africa. So North Africa is very connected to the Middle East because they all talk in Arabic and the majority of people are Muslims. So we share lots and lots of culture between the Middle East and North Africa when it comes to food and music. So starting with, I don't know, stop working. Okay, so starting with breakfast. Breakfast is basically made from beans in most of the places across across North Africa. And the dish that you see here is called fool. And with $1, you can literally buy hundreds of liters of fool from the streets in Egypt. And it's a very, very cheap dish. It takes lots of time to prepare. And all the people in Egypt and lots of other places in North Africa have fool, which is basically made of beans and lentils in the morning. The picture that you see here in the far left is actually of people having a breakfast across in Alexandria in Egypt, and you see the fool making the breakfast meal here. Next to the full dishes, there's also dishes that include eggs and tomatoes, and these are much more famous in Algeria and in Tunisia. And this very famous dish that contains eggs and tomatoes is actually called shakshuka. This is a very famous dish in North Africa. So lunch in North Africa, the best thing I can tell you is you have to go there and try it, because if I spend hours and hours talking, I won't convey it. And you can think of lunch in Africa as Thanksgiving every day, because people make a crazy amount of food at lunch. And meat and rice are one of the major things that you have in the lunch in Africa. So the dish that you see here on the left, it's called Kosheri. It's made of rice and lentils, and this recipe is actually from the pharaohs, and it has pasta along with it. Of course, the pasta is the modernized part. And this dish here, it's called mlokhia. The way that you see it on the left, this is the Egyptian way, and the way you say it on the right, this is the Tunisian way. And this is a very famous healthy dish that's similar to spinach. It's not spinach, it's a completely different plant, and it's very famous in North Africa. And this is how it looks at lunch every day in Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, and all North African countries. So we have a chicken, meat, rice, we have a mlokhia, of course, and we have stuffed vegetables. So stuffing vegetables with rice is very, very famous in North Africa. And as Dr. Asempapa mentioned, couscousi, which you see here, is another famous dish in North Africa, particularly in Tunisia and in Algeria and Morocco. And I want to share with you this fun fact maybe people are not familiar with. In Egypt, we mummify the fish. So one of the dishes that we have, which is actually from the pharaoh's time, is that we mummify the fish and eat it months later. And it's a very, very tasty type of dish. So make sure to try it when you are in Egypt. When people think about the music in Egypt or North Africa, they may think it looks like this, but sorry to disappoint you, this is how it looked 5,000 years ago. but now this is how it looks like. This is a simple Thursday party from my past school, the school that I did my bachelor's in. And you see like stars flying from over the world just to host parties in Egypt, like Jason Derulo, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, and all of these guys. So Egypt is really full of music, and it's almost about parties. And this is not new. So 60 years before this picture, this is another party in Egypt, and this is our famous singer. His name is Abdel Halim, and you have to check his songs. Fun fact about music in North Africa is that if you walk in the morning in the streets of North Africa or the Middle East, you always hear a voice of one singer, which her name is Fairuz. And Fairuz is actually the favorite singer of Beyonce, so you have to go and check her songs. But if you walk in the evening in North Africa or Middle East, you would hear the voice of Kulthum, which is another famous singer that everyone just loves across the whole area. And we have this very famous picture of Fairuz meeting Kulthum, and we have always a caption that says, "This is how morning music meets night music." And this just gives you a feeling about how music is all the time playing across the region. We also have an Egyptian opera house, and in the chat, I'm going to give you a link for a very famous Egyptian, let me go here, Egyptian opera music, because unfortunately we don't have time to play it for you, but you can go and check it by yourself and see how amazing is the music that is produced in Egypt. And finally, we actually have all types of programs about music. We have The Voice, we have Arab Idol, we have Arab's Got Talent, and even we have a version of The Masked Singer. And I want to tell you something about the picture here. Let's choose any one of them. I'll choose the one on the top left. So this singer is Iraqi. Next to him, the singer is Egyptian. Then the singer is Tunisian, then Syrian. And this shows you how the music culture and the food culture in the Middle East and North Africa are so connected to each other. And finally, this is how it looks like in the Nile River at night. And it looks like a quiet picture. But if you were really there, you would hear a long and very, very loud music of Kulthum through the night. So don't forget to visit Egypt and North Africa and take one of these boats and enjoy the sounds of Kulthum and the great food they have there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Saeed, for your presentation. And we're going at the end of our event. So our last speaker is Soumaila. Soumaila is an undergraduate and is from Burkina Faso. So let's welcome Soumaila for his presentation.
Hi, everyone. I'm Soumaila Kudugu. I'm a student at Penn State Harrisburg and majoring in accounting. Before I start, I'd like to thank the African Student Association and Jonathan for giving me this opportunity to share a few things about Burkina Faso. So today I'd like to talk about African food and music, particularly from Burkina Faso. Jonathan, do you think you can move along the slide as I go, please? Thank you. So Burkina Faso, I was born and raised in Burkina Faso. The country is located in Central West Africa, and it is landlocked by several neighboring countries. So there are various national and ethnic within the borders of Burkina Faso, and there are diverse cultures, language, and belief system that is attached to each nationals. And the food and drinks are also diverse, unique to each nationals. So the next topic I'd like to talk about are a few of my favorite food from Burkina Faso. And next. So the first food I'd like to talk to you about is called babenda. That's I enjoy babenda growing up in Burkina Faso. So it's basically a fermented soup that is made of fermented locust beans, fish, bitter greens like spinach, mustard, kale, and Swiss jar. And also rice is included to add to the taste of it. And usually babena is consumed while it is still cold. So the next two foods I'd like to share are beef brochette and regras au poulet. So beef brochettes are very popular in Burkina Faso, and particularly from the local town that I grew up in. There is one unique national that are that have a very unique way of making their brochettes, and they're mostly from Niger nationals, and their brochettes are usually my favorite. And regras au poulet is basically like a fried fries, and they usually come with meat, fried meat or fried chickens, with sometimes crushed hot peppers or fully cooked whole hot peppers. And there's usually like a side dish that comes with it, such as fried plantains, steamed cabbage, or raw sliced onions and tomatoes that usually come with regras au poulet. So the next topic I'd like to share with you guys is music in Burkina Faso. Just like food, music is diverse and each is unique to its national or ethnic backgrounds. There are various musical instruments in Burkina Faso, and music plays an integral role in Burkina Faso culture. Music is usually played in festivals, ceremonies, in weddings, mostly in honors of local kings and authorities. And though the music are diverse and different in shape, the instruments are present far beyond Burkina Faso borders. At least within my knowledge, the instruments that I will be sharing with you guys are very common in West Africa. So the next topics are going to be a few of my favorite instruments, and the first one is called djembe. Djembe is similar to American drums or the timpani. However, the sounds are slightly different, and it's mostly played by hands, though sometimes they also play with sticks. And before I go to the next one, I'd like to play a short videos, about 30 seconds of djembe.
After an asteroid struck
So as you can see, djembe was in this video, Aruna Jem, I forgot the last name, but yeah, he's a professional djembe player, and this video was recorded in Poland in 2017. So the next instrument I'd like to share with you guys is called the next. So the next instrument is the balafon. The balafon is similar to the xylophone. Also, the sounds are very slightly, and also it is played with stick. And I'd like to share a short video of the balafon with you guys. So this one was played at a concert by a professional balfoon players, as you can see the sound of it. So last and not least, the last instrument that I'd like to share with you guys is called the kora, which is one of my favorite instruments. And it is similar to the American guitar, and but however, slightly different in sound also. So in this video, there is it's played by an iconic West African singer from Mali, and he's a father and a son. The son is called Sidiki Jabete, and he's one of my favorite African singer. So I'll let you hear the sound of it. Thank you, Jonathan. So again, those are the traditional African musical instruments and a few of my favorite. And thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you, Soumaila, for sharing this presentation with us. I think we all enjoy it. So now I'm going to invite Dara, and we're going to do now the Jamboard. So Dara will be hosting this time.
Yep, I'm gonna send the link now. If everyone can just click on that. And this is a little reflection activity about what you learned from today. So all you have to do is click on the sticky note, and you should be able to write just a little thing that you learned from today. My favorite thing that we learned today was about the mummified fish from Egypt. I didn't know about that, and that's very interesting.
So I learned waki. This is the food in Ghana. Was it rice and beans, I think.
I also don't want to take up too much time, so if anybody has any questions, I'll let you guys move on to the Q&A session too.
All right, thank you, Dara, for the Jamboard. And then any question while we still have our speaker? They can answer any question you guys have right now. Okay, I don't think there are any questions. So I would like to invite Wendy. Wendy is you're responsible for Global Ambassador here at Penn State Harrisburg. So.
All right, thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about our upcoming events. Nawfal alluded to our next one in the Kahoot being Persian New Year on March 18th. So I hope that you'll join us for that. After that, we have our Holy Festival on April 1st. This is a big festival which will be a lot of fun. We'll learn a lot about Indian culture as well. And then also in April, we will have an international cultural etiquette workshop that is primarily for our faculty and staff to equip them in culture etiquette from around the world. So we were so happy to have you all here today, and I hope you'll join us for our next events as well.
All right, thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Dr. Asempapa. Thank you, Saeed, Soumaila, and Brenda for the presentation. I think we all enjoy it. And now, I think it's all done. We are at the end of our event, so you guys can go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jonathan, too, and everyone for organizing this program. I really enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.